Welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, completely hiding in plain sight, there is a massive, fundamental shift happening across the modern economy. It's absolutely changing how we work, how we survive corporate cuts, and really, how we define our entire careers. We're talking about a historic explosion in entrepreneurship, and it's born from the most unlikely of places. 503,171. Seriously, I'm going to pause for just a second to let the sheer scale of that number sink in. Because that massive number, it's not a typo. That is the exact number of new business applications filed by Americans with the Census Bureau in April 2026 alone. Literally 500,000 people in a single month stood up and said, you know what, I'm going to start something. And the crazy part is, this follows an already record-breaking wave of 1.56 million filings from late 2025 through early 2026. That is the highest volume we've seen since tracking began back in 2004. Which brings us to the central mystery we're unpacking today. Why? Why did 500,000 Americans decide to start a business in one single month? Because here's the catch. This isn't being caused by some booming, euphoric economy, and it definitely isn't a sudden, massive wave of MBA graduates deciding to launch startups. No, something else entirely is triggering this.
Section 1. The AI Layoff Catalyst.
So to really understand this boom, we actually have to look at the cuts. Goldman Sachs estimates that a staggering 16,000 U.S. jobs are disappearing to automation every single month. That's a lot of pink slips. But here is the twist that honestly nobody expected. The people losing these jobs aren't desperately sending out hundreds of resumes. Instead, they're filing LLCs.
When you look at the breakdown from a 2025 survey, an incredible 63% of laid-off tech workers turned right around and started their own companies. But the most fascinating part is the why. Nearly half of them said the layoff itself was the exact push they needed. It wasn't because they had massive savings piled up. It wasn't some pre-existing perfect business plan. The actual act of getting cut loose was the catalyst. It's like the layoff just flipped a switch.
It really forces us to completely reframe how we look at job loss. It's kind of become the pink slip as an enrollment form. A perfect example of this is Kathleen Borgetta. In January 2025, DOGE-related cuts totally eliminated her position at USAID. But Kathleen didn't rush to open LinkedIn to beg for a new boss. Instead, she founded Pivoting Parents, which is a networking community for laid-off parents building careers on their own terms. She runs the entire operation solo. She uses AI tools to handle her admin, her outreach, her content, the whole shebang. And get this. By the end of that very same year, she actually won Technically's DC Entrepreneur of the Year award. Incredible, right? And her story brilliantly illustrates a much larger demographic shift. Kathleen's path used to be the exception, now it's pretty much the rule. LinkedIn reports that the number of members listing founder as their title has literally tripled since July 2022. So we really need to completely erase that old stereotype of the founder as some wealthy 25-year-old with a trust fund. These new founders are mid-career professionals. They have mortgages, they have kids, but they simply decided that waiting around for the next round of corporate cuts was far more dangerous than betting on themselves.
Section 2. The Helpful Guide. 3 free tools.
Now you might be wondering how they actually bridge that gap from, hey, I have an idea, to sending that first invoice. Well, it's because the barriers to entry have completely collapsed. The old way was super intimidating. You needed an accountant, expensive processors, and you'd spend your first 30 days just drowning in paperwork, basically questioning all your life choices. The new way, it is lightning fast, zero cost, and it legitimately happens in a single afternoon.
I really want to be as helpful as possible here. So if you're looking for actionable advice, grab a pen. These are 3 specific, permanently free tools that basically replace a human back office. Step 1, Wave. You use this for unlimited free accounting and invoicing. Step 2, Square Invoices. This gives you payment processing with 0 monthly fees. And Step 3, Zoho Invoice, which is totally free for up to 5 clients. Now, these aren't those annoying, temporary 30-day trials. They are permanent launch pads for your business. Now, take those free billing tools and pair them with AI. 4 in 10 professionals told LinkedIn that access to AI tools made them far more likely to start a business. And it makes total sense, because you can use AI to write your business proposals, draft your marketing copy, even hunt for grants. By combining those 3 free financial platforms with AI, you have completely replicated the operational capacity of a small firm. And you can do all of this often before your final severance check even hits your bank account.
Section 3. The Satisfaction Surprise.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this. Corporate America completely missed how happy these people would be once they left. Data from Pew Research shows 60% of self-employed workers report high job satisfaction. That is compared to only 49% of traditional employees. We're not talking about people grinding 80-hour weeks in absolute misery. These are professionals who traded a steady, yet totally vulnerable paycheck for absolute control over their time. And on average, they are finding that trade was incredibly worth it.
The 2025 JFF and Gallup American Job Quality Study reinforces this even further. 46% of non-W-2 workers, meaning freelancers, contractors, and founders, feel they hold quality jobs, versus just 39% of traditional W-2 employees. Getting laid off didn't push them into a worse situation. It actively pushed them into work they find more meaningful and of much higher quality.
Let's put a human face to this data. Meet Sarah Horn. She lives in Toledo, Ohio. Just 2 years ago, she was not a founder, but today, she runs a company called Manifest. She delivers AI-powered business intelligence to pet groomers, funeral directors, everyday Main Street operators. She's giving consultant-grade data for free to small businesses that frankly never had access to it before. She built a thriving, genuinely impactful business from scratch. It just proves you absolutely do not need to be in Silicon Valley to leverage this new economy.
Section 4. Your new safety net.
Let's look at how this changes the math for your own life. If you are sitting on a severance check right now, or maybe you're simply worried about automation coming for your role, understand that the rules have totally changed in your favor. Starting a business no longer requires draining your life savings or signing some terrifying 5-year commercial lease. Opening 3 browser tabs is legitimately enough to start. The safety net under entrepreneurship is wider and stronger than it has ever been.
The corporations that automated these roles away certainly didn't plan to graduate their employees into happier, more fulfilling careers. But that is exactly what happened. So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought as we wrap up today's explainer. Take a good look at your own path, your own skills, and the incredible free tools now at your fingertips. Did corporate automation just accidentally upgrade your career? Think about it. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.